I see this all the time with high school athletes, and you've probably done this same thing. An athlete eats breakfast before a morning workout, and then they throw up. After they throw up, they're like, okay, well, then I'm just not going to eat breakfast before practice. They're just going to go empty stomach every single time. But skipping breakfast is why you feel slow, why you feel tired, why you maybe feel a step behind. It's probably why you are not getting bigger, stronger, faster. And just to help you guys understand, you don't need a giant meal. You don't need this big thing right before the workout that makes you sick. You just need the right food at the right time to actually give you the energy that you need. If you are skipping breakfast before those morning lifts, before those morning practices, then you are skipping the full results. You cannot get the best results out of your workouts if you are training on an empty stomach. So today I'm going to show you exactly what to eat before morning practices so that you can perform and get better instead of just surviving and getting by these practices. So, just remember that skipping breakfast is skipping results. Now, I want to start off with helping you guys understand the why. Like, why does this matter? You sleep, and that sleep, that gap, you had this long fast. Depending on when you ate the night before, you may have already not eaten for 10, 12, or more hours. And then you're going into a workout where you need energy. You need what we call glycogen. So basically, you need gas in your tank. If you don't have gas in your tank, you're not going to have as much energy to perform at the best level possible during that workout. And so no energy, no gas in your tank, no fuel, no glycogen, whatever you want to call it, is going to lead to lower energy, poor focus, and higher injury risk. And just think about it. Like, think about your morning workouts. Like, you already don't feel 100%, especially if you have an early morning workout. You probably don't love them, and you're probably not the most locked in because it's early. Why add to that by not having any gas in your tank? Like, it doesn't, again, have to be anything crazy, which we'll talk about, and I give you guys ideas here in a little bit. But like, just a simple addition, just a simple thing that can give you more energy so that not only do you perform better in that practice or in that lift, but by performing better, you get stronger, faster, you get faster, and you just perform at a high level much faster. So make sure that you're addressing that. Again, you don't need a huge breakfast. You just need enough to give you a flip of that energy switch, enough to give you that perk of that energy boost. So if you are dragging at morning practices, it's not simply because you're out of shape. It's not simply because, oh, like, it's just early morning workouts. It's just what it comes with. It's like, no, like, you can actually do better if you get the right nutrition in. If you get proper sleep, yes, but also if you get proper nutrition. So even if you feel like your energy is pretty good, you guys are teenagers, you guys got decent energy typically. Even if your energy is pretty good, just try this out. Try some of the suggestions I give you today. If you have no improvements in your energy, then I'll refund you for listening to this. I'm only joking because I'm not charging you for this video. But seriously though, just try some of these things out, and I know that your energy will get better. All of my athletes that I work with in my coaching program have more energy when they commit to the things we do in the first 2 weeks. It's breakfast, pre and post workout. So fix those, change your life. So let's talk about something though, because some of you guys, one thing I hear a lot from athletes is, I'm just not hungry in the morning. And this is for breakfast in general, but this applies to these workouts. There's a couple things going on here that I want you guys to understand. Number one, you've got hormones and your sleep cycles. Your sleep cycle, some of those hormones, they can suppress appetite. So depending on what's kind of going on there, you just may not feel like eating as much in the morning because you got something going on with those. But also stress and nerves. If you have a morning practice, or even more so, you have a morning game, that's probably that stress, those nerves are probably making you not feel like you want to eat. They might make you feel like you don't have a whole lot of hunger. But then the other one, and this one I see happen a lot. Athletes, teenagers, think about it this way. When was the last time you felt like eating breakfast? Like, you had an appetite for breakfast? How long ago was that? It was probably a couple years. All right, so I have this basketball player I'm working with. He talks about not eating breakfast and not doing it for a while, just not really having the appetite for breakfast. So I asked him, I was like, well, was there a time when you actually felt like eating breakfast? And he's like, yeah, it was like probably a couple years ago. I was like, okay, well, what happened that made that shift? Oh, it's like when I started high school, my mom wasn't working from home anymore. It's like, okay, put it together. He was busy. His mom wasn't making breakfast. So then he just stopped having breakfast. When he stopped having breakfast, his body adapted and it just decided to stop sending him that hunger cue anymore. I describe it as, say you have somebody knocking on your door or they're ringing your doorbell and they're just trying to get a hold of you, trying to get you to come out. But you ignore them. Eventually they will go away. Eventually. It might take a while, but they'll go away eventually. And then, yeah, that's your hunger. Your hunger finally, your hunger hormone, your hunger cues, they stopped for that time. So you stop feeling hungry in the morning. But when you start eating breakfast more consistently, and this is for workouts or just in general, when you start eating breakfast more consistently, you it's like that person's like comes back and starts knocking on the door again. It starts reminding you, oh hey, I'm hungry in the morning. Like, oh hey, like feed me. So again, just like somebody knocking at your door, if you answer the door more often, it's going to respond, like to a degree. And so just remember that when you say, "Oh, I'm not hungry in the morning," chances are it's because something in your routine changed. You stopped building that routine and your body just adapted. But just because it adapted doesn't mean it's actually good. Because if you are not eating enough in the day, hence not having the appetite to eat more, then yeah, you're not going to get stronger. You're not going to get faster if you can't even eat enough in the day. And breakfast is going to be one of those key opportunities for that. So I want to stress that again, doesn't have to be super heavy, just needs to be something. And if you've been one of those athletes who puked before, it's probably just because you ate the wrong thing. It's not because you did eat, it's because you ate the wrong thing. So let's get into it. Let's talk about specifically what you guys should be doing. So just to give you guys a couple key ones. So what should you actually eat? Number one, we could start with liquid fuel. So that could be a smoothie, depending on how much time you have. Could be a smoothie with fruit, milk, protein. Maybe Greek yogurt's your protein or something lighter that's easy on the stomach. You could also go a quick grab and go, like banana and peanut butter, a Cliff Bar. Maybe it's just like a Greek yogurt cup with some like fruit or fruit flavor in it. Could be some toast and eggs. Like if you're doing a lighter meal, could be toast and eggs, oatmeal, fruit, or oatmeal with fruit, things like that. But what you really need to understand, number one, again, you don't need a giant meal, but understand what you're about to do. Again, the top two mistakes athletes make when eating pre workout is they eat the wrong thing or they eat the wrong thing at the wrong time. So when you think about the toast and eggs, I would not recommend toast and eggs if you have a 5 a.m. workout or a 6 a.m. workout and you're waking up 30 minutes before. Like that doesn't make sense. If you only have 15, 30 minutes to really digest that meal, to really get something in, then I would say something as light as the banana and peanut butter or bananas and oranges or a sports drink with again the banana or maybe toast with jelly or bagel and jelly or something light. Especially if you have more time, like 30 to 60 minutes, is you could probably do like the bagel or the Clip Bar or something like that. But again, it depends on how much time you have. That is the most important thing you need to understand. If you only have 30 to 60 minutes to digest that meal, then eggs and bacon and toast and all those things, probably not a good idea. So understand what your window is. And also understand too with the window, think about what type of training you're doing. For my morning lifts, I don't need anything too crazy, but I want something. Sometimes I'll do toast and peanut butter. Usually, I'll be honest, I'm a little lazy before those workouts. And so I will do banana and a couple oranges. Then I follow it up. After that workout, I follow it up with eggs with turkey. I do fruits. I do toast or protein pancakes. So I get the carbs, I get the protein, I get a good amount of both. And so that covers me post workout. But A lot of you guys have, again, either the morning lifts and you guys want to get bigger, stronger. Some of you guys have conditioning. Conditioning is one where you especially want to make sure you're getting enough, but you also have to be careful because conditioning, you're more likely to upset your stomach. Usually, in those cases where you threw up, it was probably because of your conditioning and your stomach's rumbling and you had an issue. So, what you want to do for, say, the conditioning, because I know that's pretty common. You work out in the mornings, football practice, or football, like where you do lifts and conditioning. With those ones, make sure number one, make sure your dinner is taken care of. Make sure you have a solid dinner. Maybe have another snack after dinner, depending on how late that dinner is. But then again, could be something light in the morning, could be cereal. Maybe skip the milk if that's a little too much, or maybe just a little bit of milk. Um, you could do the bananas and the oranges. You could do sports drink that has sugar in it with the banana or with the toast or something like that, but make it carb focused. Like if you are working out in the mornings, your first breakfast, your pre practice breakfast should be carb focused. Maybe a little bit of protein, but that should not be the focus, especially if you're doing conditioning, because you're probably going to upset your stomach. Carbs, easy to digest or easier. Protein, not so easy to digest. So just understanding what your goal is there. And then make sure that you are eating post workout. A lot of you guys, now this isn't even the topic of the podcast, if you guys need to hear this. A lot of athletes, they go and they do these morning workouts, but then they don't eat afterwards. They wait until lunch. Your body wants fuel, it wants carbs, it wants protein, ideally within 30 to 60 minutes post workout. So we need to get something in as soon as possible. So bring a breakfast burrito, bring a protein smoothie, bring Greek yogurt parfaits, bring literally in a container eggs and toast and all those things. It might be a little lukewarm or cold by the time you eat it, but it's better than nothing. If you really want to build muscle, if you really want to reduce body fat, then you need to make sure you're getting enough in and the right types of things in before and after your workouts. So make sure that, yes, you get those quick carbs, make sure you get those quick carbs before, but then also make sure that you are getting enough in post workout as well, because that is going to be another crucial time for you to recover and to help you build that muscle, to help you adapt, to help you unlock the next level of your performance. You cannot get better if you are not getting enough nutrition into your body. So make sure those are crucial times for you. Make sure you address those. And that is going to make a huge, huge difference in your performance. Now, another thing I need to talk to you guys about pre-practice, what to eat slash drink pre-practice. Water. You guys need water. A lot of you guys are not really, you're hardly drinking any water at all, maybe not even much before those workouts. And so, what you can do, and this is actually going to help with that digestion piece, is drink water first thing in the morning. So, have a water bottle on your nightstand, right by your phone or right by whatever's on your nightstand. That should be the first thing that you grab after you turn off your alarm. Drink even a cup or 2 cups of water, 8 to 16 ounces, maybe more, very first thing in the morning. Then go and have that snack or that full on pre-workout breakfast. Like just making sure you're getting something in, because that hydration is going to be, if you think about wanting to have the best energy in your workouts so that you can get stronger, get faster, etc., you need to take care of your nutrition, your hydration, and your sleep. So fix those things, make sure those things are good, and you are going to perform at a much, much higher level. And just a reminder, something is always better than nothing. Now, let's talk about some common mistakes here. So, this is where some of these mistakes we've mentioned because they're some of the causes of those throw ups. But if you are eating heavy, greasy foods, sausage, bacon, but also other fried foods like fast foods, you are probably going to be cramping. You are probably going to crash. You are probably going to throw up. You know, again, pre workout, pre practice, we should be focusing on carbohydrates first, maybe some lean protein with that, some low fat protein, but we want to keep it light. Otherwise, you're going to have this rock in your stomach. You're going to have this semi trying to move through your gut while you're trying to perform, and it's not going to go well. The other mistake I see is energy drinks. You know, especially energy drinks instead of food. Number one, if you're a high school athlete, you don't need caffeine. You guys just need freaking food and sleep. If you guys fix the food, hydration, and sleep, you would not need caffeine. So fix those things first. You have no idea what those energy drinks are doing to you long term, so I wouldn't recommend those at all. I don't even do like I'm an adult and I don't even do caffeine pre-workout. I do again bananas and oranges. And then after my workout, because I like at 29, I'm like, yeah, I can have a cup of coffee or 2 cups of coffee a day. That is my go-to. But as I mentioned in the last podcast, you have no idea what are in those energy drinks, what are in those pre-workout supplements. So I don't recommend taking them. Most of them are garbage, if not all of them. So just don't do it. And just focus on if you get good sleep, if you get good nutrition and hydration, your energy will take care of itself. The other big mistake, so yes, the heavy foods, but also overloading on protein without carbs. I see a lot of athletes, especially for lifts, but I see this for other workouts too in the morning, is they will just do a protein shake. And I'm like, protein shake's not giving you any energy. You want total protein in a day. That is what's most important is getting enough protein in the entire day. Yes, it's going to be more beneficial, get some around your workouts, especially post workout. But really, again, your focus pre workout. You should not be just drinking a protein shake pre workout. You need carbs. Carbs are what gives you the energy for that workout. So get the carbs. Protein's just a bonus at that point. Then post workout, then we can address carbs, protein, all the other things. Pre workout, especially if you only have 30 minutes, especially if you only have 15, 45, whatever, you have a short window, focus on the carbs. Protein's just going to be a bonus. It should not be the focus of that pre workout nutrition. All right. So, one thing I'm trying to do more often is give you guys challenges rather than me just talking at you guys. I want to give you guys practical things you can do. I mean, I gave you guys a list. Try one of those options that I gave you. I gave you quite a few options, really. Try one of those, try a couple of those consistently for 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 practices in a row. So if you're working out every single morning, try it for all of those mornings. If you're doing Monday, Wednesday, Friday, then try out for Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Just try it out. You could start with the lighter options, start with the bananas, oranges, etc. Start with those. Okay. Track how you feel. So, look at your energy. If you notice, wow, I have more energy, write that down. Maybe even rate your energy on a scale of 1 to 10. Rate your focus on a scale of 1 to 10. Just how do you feel with those? Like, write them down. And then do you feel more consistent during those workouts? Do you feel better? Like, write that down. These are little things that you can be doing to check to make sure, like, hey, I'm feeling better. I'm more energized, more focused. It's like, okay, great. If you see better results, then keep doing the thing. It's going to help you if you stay consistent and you continue doing that. And then it'll help you so that when you need to change it for a new workout routine or whatever, you can just adapt it to that. But I want you guys to compare it. I want you guys to be like, hey, I'm eating or I'm working out with nothing on my stomach, empty stomach. And then I'm working out and I'm comparing that to when I actually do put nutrition into my body. I do put some of those carbs in my body pre-workout. Let me know how you feel. I guarantee you, if you make that simple change, you will feel better. You will have more energy, more focus, all of the things. So fix that. Test it out, write it down. Let me know how it goes. I know it's going to help you, but tell me. I want to make sure we're on the same page there. But yeah, make sure you guys do that. That's simple challenge, simple thing you guys can do this week. And then if you guys know a teammate who they skip breakfast, that they're struggling during workouts, during morning practices, share this with them. If you want your team to be better, then you need to give them the resources that you're getting as well. So if you're actually paying attention to this, you're implementing, make sure you share these things. It's a lot of free stuff for you guys that you guys can implement, take action on, and move forward. Most athletes simply you guys just don't know any better. You guys haven't been taught this. So the more that you share this with your teammates, the more they get their eyes opened. The more that they get their eyes opened, the better of a team you guys are going to be. So share it so that you guys can really, again, make the most out of your workouts and the most as a team. And then for you guys, keep showing up, keep putting in the work, keep doing what it takes on the workouts, the nutrition, the hydration, the sleep, and the mental side. Keep doing those things and you're going to go a lot farther. And then, as always, keep striving for greatness.